And I want to point out to something to you. We were playing with something earlier before many of you joined us. It's called, they added a view to, by the way, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
They added a view to Zoom, and I'm going to show it to you. And it changes the way everybody's view is. It's called immersive.
Mm.
And let me start it. Oh, didn't want that one. Let me try it again. Oh. Right.
Instead of finding a cure for cancer, they spend their effort doing that.
Yes, of course.
Right.
Let me pick the gallery here and start. So you're all in a classroom now.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, how cute.
Now, is that something you do as the host?
Yes,
That's cool.
that is cool.
That is cool. That is cool.
So it's interesting.
Now, if you raise your hand,
I can see you raise your hand. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's cool.
All right, I'm going to switch it back.
Well, that's nice for schools, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They have different, the gallery could be different things.
But the host only gets to do it, right?
Right. I mean, I could make it, oh, what's a fireplace? There's a one with here, a fireplace. See what that one does. Fireside chat, it's called.
Oh,
Oh, that'll be cute.
Well, it only has two of us, Paul and I.
Oh. Oh, that is so interesting.
Oh,
And we could change it to, oh, we got get 5 or 6 people only. Okay.
Oh, we're back in the chairs.
And then we could change it to any others here.
oh yeah, like you could have the board of something. sitting
Yeah.
Together, yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, what was that called?
It's called
Immersive.
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 Here we go. We're in a different kind of classroom. Okay.
Mm.
I like it.
It's interesting, when I look at this, there are about 6 of the people that have names with them,
Right.
and most of us don't.
Right.
And then when you go back to the standard gallery view, we all have whatever we identified ourselves as. So,
I know, and I'm not sure why.
Well, the names, those are people that do not have a face.
no, but I have a face on here and I don't have a name.
No, that's what I mean. The people that have a name behind us, those are people that do not show their face on the regular.
Oh, look at that.
okay.
I'm at the front of this classroom. Must be for they reserve that person for the host.
Well, the next time you talk to Zoom, you ought to ask them to have an active clock.
That's a good one. In the upper right-hand portion of your screen, there's a clock.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No.
We don't have.
We don't
one.
have one, just you.
Just
Okay,
you.
back to gallery. One day did I tell you this about the guy who was
Yes.
driving along and a chicken came up beside the car? I was driving one day about 50 miles an hour on this back country road, and this chicken came up beside my car, keeping up with my car. Couldn't believe it. So I sped up a little bit and the chicken not only came up to me, but he passed me and he zoomed off to the right on a side road. And when he did that, I noticed it was a three-legged chicken. My curiosity got the best of me, so I followed the chicken, came to a farmhouse, pulled up at the farmhouse, and the farmer came out and said, "Can I help you, sir?" I said, "Yeah, I'm very curious. This chicken was racing down the road faster than my car, and I noticed it was a three-legged chicken." And he said, "Sure, we raise three-legged chickens." I said, "Why would you raise three-legged chickens?" "Well, there's three of us, my son, my wife, and I, and we all like drumsticks.
Oh, gosh.
So we figured out a way to make three-legged chicken." I said, "Well, yeah." So I asked him, "Well, how do they taste?" He said, "I wouldn't have any idea. I can't catch them."
Oh.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
Oh, mercy. Oh, Bill.
Oh.
I have to change something here. There we go. All right. We get down through this pile of stuff. Oh, how many of you use your devices to do as an alarm clock? I put mine on my nightstand, and I get a nice. I set it and get a nice alarm clock.
Oh.
I'll show you how to do that, and I'll also show you how to change the iPhone. There's a snooze, there's a snooze button on there as well as a stop it. And if you hit the snooze button, it has a delay time. And most of us would like a longer delay time. All right. So what I'm going to do is switch screens again. I'm going to share my screen here. Everybody see my screen okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the phone, not the iPad.
I noticed that. I got to put the iPad on there.
Okay.
There you go. How's that?
Yes. Or a little,
The iPad's very blurred.
yeah, blurred.
That better?
Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, how do you set this alarm, right? I've forgotten, it's been so long, I've forgotten how I did that. Anyway, if you go to the clock, where's the clock here? No, I gotta go to a clock. Not the watch, but you open
At the
this.
top.
It is,
I
yes.
just say, hey Siri, set the clock.
And it shows that there's this sleep wake feature they added a few generations ago of the operating system. And you can click here and say, I want to change it. Mine's set to go off at 8 o'clock every day. But I could change that by clicking on change. I just have to see if that's somebody who wanted to get into the meeting.
Call from 888-497-7646.
Somebody take a message.
No, there's a, hello? Okay. If I click on change, comes up and says, here's how you can set up your alarm system. Right? You can say, hey, I want to start it at a given time by clicking on the bed, and you can change the time. Most of us have a frequent time we go to bed. Then you change what time you want to wake up. And if you go under, mine goes under 7 hours, it turns color. Say, wait, you probably need more sleep than that. Okay. And then you can edit the sleep schedule. Here.
Okay.
And you can determine what days of the week you would like to change it on. So if I don't want it on Saturday or Sunday, I can turn it off. And then we just click done. How did I mess it up? That's not bad. Okay, and then you can go back to sleep. You can see what your sleep schedule has been recently, etc. I'm going to go back to the clock. And there's a snooze feature. You know, mine's set for 10 minutes, right? Sorry about that, everybody. So what
Well,
we
are
do is
you
we
editing this in, are
say
you
again,
editing this in the clock or in the help?
clock. Right now I'm in the clock.
When I go into clock, it says you have to, and I haven't got a sleep wake time set up. So it says I have to do that in the health app. And
To
that
start.
brings me into a whole dialogue to set up something that I haven't set up before.
Right. I guess that's what you do originally. It's been a while since I've done it. So right now I don't need to do that because I can just change what is set. But then if I want to go further, it says edit sleep schedule and health.
And if you haven't done it before, it's going to send you right to health to do it.
Gotcha. Thank you, Bill. Once you have it set up, right, then you can come here. So here's where I've gotten to. And one of the things you can do is wake up alarm. You can turn that off or turn it on. And then you can set the time or the sound. And then you can turn on and off snooze. You can also get really fancy here. And you see where it says easy riser on mine? Easy Riser contains a bunch of different songs you could have. First Light. Can you guys hear that?
Yes.
Oh, what's Bird's song like? Well, that one would not wake me up. All of them start out lightly and then grow.
So, Bill, this is Barbara. I have a question. So what you're doing now, the difference is that it gives you an alarm when you are supposed to go to sleep. Is that?
It sends you a message. The key difference, okay? This is a thing you can set up that repeats every day.
So does it send you a text message and say it's time to go to sleep?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a notification of some kind, if I remember right. Good question, though.
I have a question, Bill.
Go ahead.
Okay. On the left is the iPhone, correct? I can't get into that screen somehow where you can set up, where you show that whole clock face kind of thing.
Okay, you were in the clock.
Yes.
You clicked on the clock, and what came
Yeah.
up?
Well, when I click on okay, hold on a sec. I have it set up already
Good.
for alarm. So when I click on the clock, okay, I'm sorry. When I click on the clock, that's coming up because I have alarm highlighted at the bottom. At the bottom also, I've got world clock, stopwatch, and timer.
Correct.
So I'm not sure. Then there's a plus sign at the top right. I tried that.
But it doesn't have sleep wake.
Yes, I'm okay. Right now, in the alarm page, I have sleep wake, and I have it set up for 6 a.m.
Okay.
wake up. But I wanted to get to that other page that you were on with the clock, because and then finally I'm getting to a question besides how do I get back to that? Because what I did was I set up a sleep wake situation, and then it had the time period that I was sleeping is all black. But then what happens, even though I did away with that sleep wake cycle, and I did away with it because I was trying to solve a problem, everything then is black in the background of my iPhone since I did that sleep wake thing, and I can't get rid of it. It's kind of annoying. It's harder to read things.
So you're on sleep wake, and you doesn't say change down here.
Well, it does say change
Okay.
next to the alarm time.
Let's click that. And now.
Oh, right, exactly. Okay, now it came up. It still does have this bedtime thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not, and I have it set for 10 p.m.
Okay.
I thought I had gotten rid of that. How do I just get it back to just having the alarm? Because that's what has made my whole system show like messages come up with a black background, etc. since then.
So do you want sleep wake to be do you want this option to be working or not working?
I'd rather that it's not working, only because of that situation.
Okay, edit sleep schedule and turn it off right there.
Sleep schedule.
At the
Okay.
Okay.
At the bottom. I'm not finding, okay, right, edit sleep schedule.
And then just turn it off.
Edit sleep schedule. Okay, and then just turn sleep schedule off.
That's it.
Okay, but then I've got to go back, right? And then set the alarm again if I only want the alarm. Am I correct?
If you just want the alarm, if that's the only thing you want, then you would set an alarm down here, the lower part of the screen. And the way you
Right.
do that is you hit the plus sign
Right,
and add a time that you want to have an alarm.
right.
Good.
Thank you.
No, that was good.
Well,
I'm looking at something and either a page got dropped. Tap the snooze toggle to disable snooze. Snooze is disabled when the toggle is gray. Wow. So if I add an alarm, it says snooze down here, but I don't see a snooze time. And the title of this save is How to Change the Snooze Time. Wow. Hey, Bill, you with me? Do I see
Yeah,
Bill?
I'll look it up.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that, folks.
I was just, before I started, I was looking at settings on alarm. And
Yeah,
it said that under accessibilities,
yeah.
guided access, there's a time limits. Could that be it? In settings?
I don't know. Time limit for what? It doesn't give you that, probably.
No, what it says is in settings,
Mm-hmm.
under accessibility,
Okay.
and then go to guided access.
Yep.
And then there should be a time limits under guided access.
Under what was that in accessibilities?
Guided access. The top one in general down at the bottom. I go up, back up to,
No, I don't think that's it.
said time limits, but I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
All right, I'll Google it.
All right.
Bill, what I've done is just set another wake up time because you can add multiple times on the,
Sure. You just turn the one off and the next one comes up.
well, yeah, you can set it for 15 minutes or 20, whatever you want.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not their answer to that question. All right. While they're doing that, folks, I'd like to get started on iCloud. I'm sorry, cloud computing. And I have a short presentation I'd like to make, and then we'll talk about iCloud specifically. How many of you know what a cloud is? I don't get a lot of hands being raised here in the classroom. All right, we have cloud computing. What is it? Okay, I just want to spend some time defining what it is. Do you use a cloud? How do you use a cloud? The software services clouds provide. What's the requirements for using a cloud? History and cloud used for storage. Now, we're not going to cover all these things, okay? And what are the advantages of using a cloud and not using a cloud? Cloud computing. To practice using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than local server or personal computer. And that's a lot of mucky muck to say, hey, you're putting your information on a computer somewhere in the world that's not your own personal computer. The average computer user connects to the cloud via the internet. He does his computing task, runs an application, and then stores the data. And that data is being stored not on your computer necessarily, but it's being stored somewhere else. And you've been doing this for years. Whether you realize it or not, your email is cloud computing. When somebody sends you an email, it does not go directly to your computer. When they send you an email, it goes to your email provider. So mine, if you send it to my Verizon account, it goes to Verizon/Yahoo in the sky, their cloud computer. And I have a post office box, or I have a box up there where they put all my mail. And every time I turn on my iPhone or my iPad, the new mail that's up there is brought down to my iPad, and the things I may have deleted since the last time I was there is deleted from the cloud. So you're using the iCloud, and you've been using it since you've been using email. And look at all the things that provide and use the iCloud. There's Kindle. Here's some mail. There's Dropbox. Right? When you use Hulu, you're using their resource, but you're using cloud computing because you're streaming data from their cloud to your system. It requires you to be connected to the internet. You have to have an account with whatever cloud you're trying to get onto. I hope you all realize that you can go to anyone's computer and go to, for example, if you have a Gmail account, you have a Gmail email. You go to anyone's computer, you go to Google and go to gmail.com. Now you're logged on to the cloud, the mail cloud for Google, and it asks for your Apple or your Google ID and password. Once you enter that, guess what? You're looking at your email not on your device, but in the cloud. And of course, you have to agree to their terms and conditions. When you log in or set up an account on Google, here's what you put in. We're going to focus, you can do computing in the cloud as well. In other words, instead of using a program on your particular device, your iPhone, iPad, or computer, you're going to use the program in the cloud. A good example with that would be Amazon. You go on to Amazon and you're using their program to buy stuff. And it's an actual program there you're using, and you had to log on with your account. Zoom, we're using Zoom, right? Not quite the same because you do have a program on your computer for that. When you're using it, you're tied into this huge bank of computers, and it is. And it doesn't look much different than what that picture is right there. Just walls and walls of computers and storage. You purchase a program and load it on your computer. Each computer would need the program loaded and stored in order to use it. When you use a program in the cloud, you can use it from any computer to access and process your data. Microsoft has it, Apple has them, Adobe has them, antivirus, well, I'm not sure about that one, right? They're all programs, and many of them, if not all, you can operate in the cloud. If you're talking about computer storage, which most of us, that's what we're using, right? Computers have internal and or hard drives, we call them. Many of us call it the C drive, right? This is what a disk drive looks like if it's not a solid state drive. So if you took it apart, you'd see this little needle here, just like a record player, and it swings back and forth across the disk head to read and to place data on the disk. Internal storage, the data you're working on is saved on there. And I think we've all talked about at some point that disk is going to fail. Not if, it's when. And are you backing up your data? Because this little thing running around up here eventually stops working correctly. To use that content, you have to get onto that computer, that iPhone or that iPad. This is not quite a true statement any longer, because if you have the right programs, you can access your computer remotely. But for the most part, I can't access the information I have on my computer, my iPhone, or my iPad exclusively. Now, Apple has cured that problem by creating the iCloud, is which we'll get into in a minute. If you have external storage, it allows you the content to become mobile. So you have a mobile device. And I have a picture of a couple of them. You can save it on that device and carry it with you. And then you can open it on other computers. It used to be CDs. Now I'll bet everybody here that I'm talking to has at least one of these guys. Thumb drive. Many of you may have the external hard drives. And then there's these solid state drives. Cloud storage. If you decide to use cloud storage with your computer, your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, some of the places you can put your data is a place called Dropbox. You sign up for an account, and when you go to store something, you can put it in the Dropbox. That way you can access it from any computer in the world. any iPhone, any iPad. There's something called SkyDrive. Amazon has them. Microsoft has them. Google has them. You create an account, give them a name, and many of them give you a reasonable amount of storage for free. And then if you go beyond that, they have a charge. And the content lives in the Dropbox cloud. I'm making this up. It's in Arizona, in Phoenix, in a big building is where their cloud is. Now, I don't know where their cloud is, but that's the idea. You log on to any computer with Wi-Fi access and bingo. You can download a cloud-based application to a computer you own. The app lives on your computer. Save files to the app and it goes, guess where? To the cloud. When the cloud is hooked up. If it doesn't have, you don't happen to be on the internet, the next time you log on to it, it will go there. A good example of that, I think, is the Google Photos. On my iPad, I have Google Photos. And when I put it on there, it says, do you want me to upload all my information from all my photos, from Apple Photos to Google Photos? I said, sure. And it did that. But if the program's not running, it doesn't do it. So in order to get my newest photos in the Google Cloud, I have to open up the Google Photos application. And that cloud can be accessed from anywhere. Here's a picture of some of them. You do a save as in your computer, and it synchronizes with the cloud. Dropbox, you can do it in Dropbox. I have a Dropbox app on my iPad. Or your computer. Log into the online storage account, click the upload file, and you can send it, any file, to the external storage. Your computer, your iPhone, your tablet, your iPad, all are capable of sending information back and forth to the cloud. The benefits of using a cloud computing is you can use it to save large files and then let other people know that it's there and you can have them access it in the cloud. Many of you, I believe, would like to send 10 or 15 pictures to some family members or some friends. It's very hard to do that through email. You have to send multiple emails because there's a limit in the size of an email. If you put them in the cloud and share the link to that, they can go look at the pictures in the cloud. Many people use it for, it says project collaboration there. Many people use this to work on projects remotely. That's what a lot of the people are doing when they're working from home. They're collaborating with others. They put what their latest update to whatever they're working on in a cloud somewhere, and then other people can access it, comment on it, make changes to it. And you do that through file sharing. There's online banking apps that allow you to access your account, make transactions at your bank. Facebook, Twitter are all host-based, cloud-based programs. And there are photo editing software and instant messaging. That is all service or cloud-based. So why would you use a cloud? The advantages are, can be less expensive compared to buying software and hardware for your device. Can be used from any computer device with an internet connection. The device does not need as large of an internal storage. So I don't need to get a lot of storage for my computer if I'm using the cloud. The thing that takes most advantage of this, I think, is a Chrome computer, right? Google Chromes. If you have one of those, there's barely any storage on it. Everything you're doing in the cloud. It's compatible with most computers and operating systems. Updates occur across the service, so that the updates on the programs that you might use is automatically done. The disadvantages is what most people would like to be interested in. Is it secure? I'm putting up there my life. How secure is it? Terms of service. Are they able to access that data that you're putting up there and use it for other purposes? Privacy policy. What is their privacy policy? And more importantly, do they abide by it? So the summary. We talked about what the cloud is and how to use it. You can create documents in the cloud. You can share information in the cloud. And we have pluses and minuses. We talked about those. Any questions? Anybody asleep yet? Okay.
No, very interesting to finally learn a little bit about it. I have a question. When you showed that visual, or that you said looked like all of these computers that make up the cloud,
Right.
then I wondered who owns those. So then later, from something you said, it seemed to me that, for instance, Facebook is using the cloud, I guess.
Yes.
So it owns its cloud computer, correct? All these different.
You're exactly right. So Google has lots and lots of storage and computers for all Google's information and programs, as does Facebook. So Facebook has probably one or more, probably more, of these giant computer facilities around the world that it's using.
Then, Bill, you mentioned backing up data. So I've been under the impression that with the cloud, data is backed up, but that doesn't, and how can I put this? It looks like one still needs to back up data.
We're going to talk about that with the iPhone and the iPad, not so much so, and we'll talk about that next.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions.
I got a comment.
Go, Bill.
Actually, a little bit of history, and I don't know if it's true today, but Amazon had these large computer centers all over the world to be able to support their shopping business. And they had so much compute power, they started selling it to commercial businesses for backing up online. And they've now made half the company is a separate division called AWS, Amazon Web Services,
There you go.
which provides both to the government and to websites. And I think they were at one point the largest computer
Provider.
banks around the world.
I believe it. I believe it.
The other thing is I've got research. I looked at 4 or 5 different websites that were giving advice, and they've all said the same thing. Basically, the iPhone alarm snooze is 9 minutes. They can't set it for 10 because back in the mechanical alarm clock days, the gears didn't allow 10. And they said most people will fall deeply back to sleep after 10 minutes. So they made it 9. And so all Amazon is 9. They said if you want to be able to adjust your snooze time, you have to go to another app like Alarmy or Progressive or one of the others to get an adjustable alarm.
Or use Peter Dobbs' technique of setting multiple alarms.
Right. And 3 different websites had Peter's technique of just set yourself multiple alarms 10 minutes apart.
Okay.
Well, I have a philosophical question. Can the web fail? If it can, how?
Say that again. I missed some of it, Peter.
Can the web fail? Can society all of a sudden wake up one morning and say, the internet is down?
Down.
Right.
Okay, what's the question?
Can that happen?
When
We
it
all
happens,
hope-
it's
we all
usually the
hope
internet
not.
service provider that has the issue.
But what if it's
I mean, websites go down all the time.
yeah, he's talking about general. Could Verizon or Comcast or Frontier go down?
Yes.
What about
Electricity
Google going
controls
down?
it all.
Right? There is something called an EMP. Electronic, what's that stand for? It's a bomb that magnetically interrupts all electronic devices unless they're protected. And everybody's concerned about it's an atomic bomb. It's called an EMP. And that would knock everybody out if they aren't protected. So Peter, 10 years ago, it probably would have. I don't know what it would do today. But yeah,
Worldwide, there's a lot of backups that are going on. It was one of the financial institution had all of their computers were on the World Trade Center. And when the
Whoa.
World Trade Center got hit, and they had backup resources in New Jersey that was continually backing up. And they were online to their financial people within like 10 or 15 minutes of having their place bombed. The other part is there's a lot of redundant, the secret to backups is doing it multiple places, multiple times. And these people like Google and Amazon that run it actually have data centers around the world that are mirroring it. So if they had their data center in Seattle, Washington, which is probably where Google's is, and you bombed the whole of Seattle, Washington, they'd lose that data center and all the information there. But they probably have one in Hong Kong. They have one in probably Berlin or somewhere else. So the data is being backed up continuously around the world. And then the electrical connections are designed much more redundant today than they were 10 years ago. So theoretically, it's possible. Practically, probably not. Although you could lose it for your whole area based on a catastrophe.
so what's the consensus on saving? Well, I don't want to get this too much on computers in general, but what's the consensus on saving your computer data?
What I've read is the safest way is backing it up multiple places, multiple time things. So save it both locally and on the web,
Exactly.
and having it redundant. So your savings there. If your backup is only on another computer in your house and your house burns down, you lose it all. But if you have it backed up to a disk that you have over in a bank vault, or you have it on a cloud somewhere, then there's a copy that exists at least at some point regularly that you can back it up. So it depends on how important the data is. Big financial institutions are continuously backing up multiple locations all the time.
And there are programs that you can get for your computer to back up automatically for you in a cloud somewhere. All right. Let's switch gears now to iCloud. Okay, Apple's cloud. And what they've done is they said, gee, we don't you don't need to back up your information because we'll do it for you. And what they do is they continuously update every night. They update the iCloud that you have set up. So what I'd like to do is take you through how you make sure yours is set up correctly. Okay? And before I go there, I want to make sure you understand that your email is automatically on a server somewhere based on what your email address is. So if you have a gmail.com, it's in the Google Cloud. If you have a AOL.com or .net, it's saved at AOL. But now if we all go to settings, so everybody go to settings on your iPhones and iPads. And you go to the top of the settings menu and your name should be up there at the top. And go ahead and click on your name. And the item I'd like to focus on is where it says iCloud. Now mine says 50 gigabytes. And your question might be, well, I don't know how much I have or how much I need to back up the information that's on my device. So you tap that. And it gives you a really nice graphic of what the information you have that's in your iCloud. This is not on your device. This is in Apple's storage facility. If this line going across here, this bar, is near the end, you might want to consider getting some more storage. With Apple, you get 5,000 million or 5 gigabytes of storage for free. But if you're running out of storage, I have purchased additional storage. I get up to 50 gigabytes. And I tapped manage storage when I was getting close to my full. Okay. And it says, why is that cut off like that? And it says I have 50 gigabytes, right? I can change the plan. So I wanted to change my plan. I would tap it and it would give me some other options. Now I can't go back to my original because I'm over 5 gigabytes, but I'm only paying basically $12 a year. All right, if I needed more, I could go to 200 gigabytes. Now I'm going to tap the back arrow to go back to this screen. And again, it shows me that graphic of what's occupying my storage up there. Right? If I look at it, it says most of my storage up there is being occupied by my photos. And it says here, photos, 14.8 gigabytes. Backups are data associated with the various applications I have out there. Then I've got some health, iCloud Drive, etc. And we go down the list of the different applications that are saving data. Okay,
Bill, this is Jean. I have a question.
good.
I'm shocked. When I look at this, most of mine is not photos, it's documents.
Yeah.
So I used to do resumes for people in a volunteer job. So my question is, what is the easiest way to look at all those documents and delete them? What's the easiest way to see them all? Is it in the cloud or on my device or what?
And when you look down the list, Gene, what do you see being the big things there?
Hold on.
She's looking down this list now.
Okay, I think I'm in the wrong spot though. Okay, so I hit that and then I went to iCloud and that's where it showed documents way over. And then I hit manage storage. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, I hit that and I pay the 99 cents a month per your advisement.
Okay.
And so, okay. Well, I think you told me with the 99 cents a month, I should have everything backed up. So my messages are backed up at 418 megabytes, but I really don't care. So
start deleting messages.
yeah, but I'm concerned about all those, okay, under pages, which is obviously where I maybe did documents.
Yep.
Where can I see what documents they are? Do I go to the iCloud?
I'll be showing you that in a minute.
Okay, because I want to get rid of them. I'm sure some of them I have no reason to even have in the cloud.
Whoa, look at that.
How'd you get?
I tapped pages and there they are. Can I delete them one at a time?
This will.
Okay, so go ahead and tap where it says pages there.
I did that.
And then you get a list.
Oh.
Oh my. They knew you were going to ask this question.
Yeah, right. So but if I wanted to do it,
then you can go through and delete one at a time.
but can I see it before I delete it?
Well,
tap.
you'd have to open pages and see all the ones you have.
Right. So would I do that in the cloud or on my Mac where I can see it bigger?
Either place would work.
Either place will work. So if I tap it, it's going to open it.
And I want to take advantage of what I just told Jean. It's in the cloud. So when you look on it on your Mac, you're looking at it in the cloud.
Right.
And it's the same cloud your iPhone and iPad are talking about.
Right.
Okay.
So if I take off, if I delete the document from here, it will delete it from the cloud.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
A similar question about photos, Bill, because I guess what I've heard is that everything's always still someplace, even if you delete. So I have too many photos, 31 gigs. And it's ridiculous, many unnecessary. So if one deletes, then they are deleted from the cloud as well, correct?
Correct. And that's a very good lesson.
Thank
People
you.
often say that my iPad's filling up and it's filling up with photos, so they delete it from their iPad. Guess what? It's deleting it from the cloud as well.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
I can hardly hear you, but go ahead.
My question is, I'm looking in this list and it shows Dropbox, OneDrive. Why would I want to be backing up something that's already backed up?
I can hardly hear you. Can you get closer to your microphone?
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think I have the microphone on. I have the microphone on differently.
So go ahead and ask your question again, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh, much better.
Yeah, no, I'm using a headset and I don't have a microphone on it, so I just had to change the setting. Okay, I'm looking in the same list and I see OneDrive, Dropbox, Drive. Why would I be backing up drives that are already being backed up?
All you're saying in this list is that I want to back up iCloud Drive up there.
Okay, this is an iCloud. In other words, what I'm asking you is iCloud also backing up my Google Drive? Because it has in the list,
No, I don't think so.
well, should I have that turned on or off?
iCloud Drive?
No, should I have on my list underneath, it's showing Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, as well.
Are you looking at the same list I am?
Yes, I'm just going all the way down.
Okay,
I'm going down further.
I see
And
that. I see that. Yes. Interesting.
so why would I be backing up a backup?
Why not?
Well, I mean, I've got a lot on those things, so I'm using up a lot of my iCloud Drive for a redundancy with something that's pretty safe.
Just let me ask you a question, Patty.
Yeah,
How much iCloud storage do you have?
200.
And is it full?
No, but I would rather back it up. I'm not backing up all my pictures. I'd rather back up photos all my photos than
You don't have
backup drives.
you're not saving your pictures up there?
I back up my pictures to a special hard drive. So I don't think I'm backing up all my pictures.
If you go down to the top, is photos on?
Yes, but some of my photos are not in. I have a number of photo libraries.
You're talking about your Mac now. Is that
Yeah, yeah. So all my photos are not being backed up. Only the ones that are on my Mac, that are
Good.
on the other ones are in a backup drive.
Understood.
Okay, so if I wanted to have those backed up too, I would have to do something. I guess I could do it on the iMac. They also use.
I want to be very careful with you here.
Yeah.
If you turn off Dropbox, I'm not sure what that does.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll leave it on then.
I'm like you. I would say, gee, that's going to remove the stuff that I have on here that are in Dropbox.
I wouldn't say remove it. I would say it would be copying.
Yeah, you don't want it in the iCloud as well.
Right.
And I think that's correct, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Could you check on that?
Yep. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Bill,
Hey, Bill.
hello. Cheryl has a different screen than I do, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on. We're both in settings. We're both identifying our name. And on the top of her screen, it says, to the left, it says iCloud, and over to the right, it says iCloud storage. Mine says on the left, Apple ID, and just iCloud is the other term. So I see you have Apple ID up there on your pad.
Okay, so I went to my name, and then I tapped on iCloud.
Mhm.
So back up to where you're at settings and then go to iCloud. And then,
Your name.
are you phone versus iPad? Is that what we're doing here?
Well, just either one. We're
And then-
both on the
and then if you-
iPad right now
If you
trying
tap
to.
manage storage, it should come up to say the same thing she has.
No,
Yeah.
Vice versa.
yeah, it does now, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill, Callher, could
I
you
can just-
check on something while we're,
Sure.
was pointed out that in my iCloud storage, I not only have, I'm sorry, I have something called Dropbox, which is an app I have on my device. Is that all of Dropbox? And if I delete that or turn it off, does that stop saving the Dropbox stuff on this device in the iCloud? Or am I reproducing? Am I saving everything in Dropbox in the iCloud?
I don't have a Mac, so I can't look back and forth to a Mac. But I'll check it out. But I think what that's doing is Dropbox app on your iPad has some local data in it to
No, if I
get where
open,
it's going.
if I open the Dropbox app, it lists everything that's in the cloud.
Well, I'll see if I can find something.
Yeah. All right.
Question, Bill.
Yes, go ahead. Wow.
I don't see music. I've got a ton of music. I'm thinking I got a ton of music in the cloud on iCloud and Dropbox, but I don't see any of it listed under the iCloud storage.
The only thing it saves, the only thing you have is a Apple ID. And the Apple ID, when you go to music, it saves all of the titles of the music you have purchased from Apple. If you've loaded something on your device from your computer, for example, yep, you're right. They're not going to put that information in the iCloud.
Why not?
Yeah, good question. Because you synced it with your computer, and so you can sync it from there again.
Well, a lot of the stuff I have, I copied from LPs
Yeah, me too.
and saved it as a what do you call it? MVP file or
Yeah.
something file.
Yeah.
And how are they backed up?
On your computer.
But I think my computer is being backed up by iCloud. I'm an Apple guy.
Okay. And good question. I don't know, Bill or Peter.
Okay.
Let me go back to iCloud here. And we don't see music listed here, right? Is what we're saying.
Correct.
And I believe it's,
Actually, I don't see iTunes. I thought maybe everything going into music, generally with Apple stuff, is iTunes. I don't even see iTunes.
right. I understand. But it's in your iTunes library versus being in the iCloud. But good question. Let me keep going here. If you're having problems with photos and you have too many photos and you go to iCloud and you tap on photos, I have my photos turned on there because I want to save my photos in the iCloud. And I tap the arrow there it says iCloud Photos, and I have iCloud Photos turned on. There's another item there that says optimize iPad storage or download and keep originals. If I optimize iPad storage, what that is doing is it's removing the full megapixels, all the megapixels. It's reducing the number of megapixels per picture. And a normal picture takes between 1 and 2 million bytes to properly display the picture. If you click on Optimize iPad Storage, it drops that by 90%. Now the picture, when you display it, will be kind of grainy when you do this, until your iPad, which hopefully is attached to the host, attached to the cloud, will go to the iCloud and get the full picture and bring it down on your device. It takes very little time for this to occur, but it does occur. And then the picture, and it happens so fast for most of us that we don't even recognize the grainy looking picture to start with. Or it may be a little slower, and it may say downloading. But if you have a problem with storage on your device, and for those of us that may have right here, your iCloud may be filling up. I'm sorry, your iPad may be filling up, and I'll show you how to find that out in a minute. Okay, so let's go do that right now. If everybody goes back on your devices to settings and go down to general and tap iPhone storage or iPad storage. And my iPhone says, this is what I'm using of my 64 gigabytes on my iPhone. Here's how I'm using it. On my iPad, my iPhone has 128 gigabytes. My iPad has 64. And you can see what's using the majority of the space. Because I've optimized my photos, it doesn't take up that much space any longer. And remember, I said I have 300 plus applications, and that's what's taking up the majority of my space. All right, everybody take a look at yours. And let me make this point, if you have less than 10 or less than 5 gigabytes left, you're going to have to do something to reduce the amount of memory or disk space that is being used on your iPhone or iPad. The reason I say that, it takes around 1 to 2 and perhaps 3 gigabytes to update the operating system. Now it's pretty easy to do one of two things. You see where it says enable offload unused apps? If I haven't used an app for a couple of months and I tap that, it will delete the applications from my phone or my iPad automatically. If you don't,
Where is that, Bill, on the iPhone?
I went to settings,
Right.
general,
Yeah, I'm on the iPhone storage page.
okay, and it doesn't say enable at the top, right below the bar graph.
Right below the bar, it says app. It just gives an analysis of what it is. Apps, iOS, photos, system data.
Okay, you don't have anything like I do there. It says offload unused apps.
No, then it's giving me, actually, it's telling me then all these different apps. Let me go to
Right.
the bottom.
Down below
Okay.
here. Okay,
Then iOS and system data. But it does not have
are you,
offload unused.
it does say, you're looking at your iPhone or iPad, Peggy.
iPhone,
So it says iPhone storage at the top,
correct,
and then it has the bar graph.
correct.
It has no recommendations.
No, under that, under the bar graph is, just what you have, apps, blah, blah, blah. But then it gives me a list of all the different apps.
Right, that's this list down here. It's down below on mine.
Yeah, but there's nothing in between.
Okay,
Bill,
Okay.
I have the same thing because I'm already offloading. So
I
maybe
know.
she's already offloading.
Peggy, you clicked some place in the past, you clicked enabled there. And if you click enable, it will get rid of the apps that you haven't used in a while.
Okay, but actually,
Now, if,
when we were back on another page, I saw I've got in the cloud, I've got 2 Washington Post things. And so and one of them is grayed out. So I wanted to delete that. I don't even have a subscription anymore. I wanted to delete that, but I wasn't sure how. So when I saw this about enable unused apps, I thought to myself, okay, I can use that.
but it also deletes a bunch of other apps that you may not want to delete.
Okay, so in other words, I have already enabled it. And
Yes.
that means that it's automatically deleting unused apps.
Correct.
Okay,
For those of you who may have done that by mistake, and I did it once, the way to get it back, to unenable that, you have to do the following. I'm going to enable it. Oh boy. Okay, and the way in which you get it back is you go back to settings,
The App Store.
you go to the App Store,
Mm,
and you scroll to the bottom where it says offload unused apps. And I don't want to do that anymore. And you turn that back off. And then that item will appear again when you go to look at the storage that's on your device.
okay, so in other words, so shut off, offload unused apps.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Now there's some nice features here. For example, I'm going to go down here to my books, and if I don't want to use that app anymore, I can do one of 2 things. I can offload the app, but keep the books that I'm working with. So I would keep the data associated with the app, but I would get rid of the app itself.
mm.
So if I reload the app next week or tomorrow, it would show up that I have all these books that I'm working on. So that's called offloading the app. If I delete the app, its data is also removed. So many of us may have an app called GarageBand, and it's taken an enormous amount of space.
I got that all.
GarageBand is a wonderful app if you're into music and you like to create music. This is the place to have it. Many of us are not there, so we would click the arrow and delete the app. Now I have 13 gigabytes worth of music, so I'm not about to get rid of that one. And to Peter's question, where is that information saved?
Oh.
I believe it's in iTunes.
Wow.
Is that backed up?
What is backed up if you reload iTunes is the data you got from iTunes. It does not, I don't believe it includes the ones you've burned. You've copied from your computer, copied from CDs onto your computers. Now, Peter, I believe that's the case because I think I've done it once when I got a new phone. It brought in everything that I had purchased from Apple. It did not include the information that I purchased that I had gotten from my computer that I did not buy from Apple.
Hey,
But if
Bill,
that, Bill, if that information is in the iCloud that you're paying storage for to store that information,
Yeah, it doesn't allow you to do the illegal copying.
Oh.
well, wait a minute, it's not
Another-
illegal. I bought and paid for it. Should be able to do what I want with it.
Well, but not put it on 25 different devices,
hey, Bill,
including mine, Peter. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, Ralph's trying to go back a couple steps on his iPhone to get where you got with his iPhone storage. Can you go back a few steps?
iPhone storage.
Yeah, how did you get there?
Where am I now?
We want to know iPhone storage. Go to General. Go to Settings in General.
Yes.
And then it says iPhone storage there.
you got something?
Oh, they got
I
it.
have iPhone storage, yeah. We have different things. Okay, we got there.
Got there. Okay.
Thank you.
Do I have some more? What Apple has tried to do is they've really tried to, I have iCloud backup, okay? And when I got a new device, an iPhone or an iPad, and I put in my Apple ID and password, it said, when I first got it, it said, do you want to recover everything you've got in the iCloud? And it does. I think, Peter, if I'm not wrong, it only recovers what you purchased from Apple from the iCloud, not the stuff you've synchronized with your computer.
Here I am now.
Wouldn't that come in if you saved it like as a device on a file in your hard drive? Couldn't it come in that way?
Not that I know of. When I used iTunes on my PC, it says you want to synchronize and you choose the albums you want to synchronize onto your device. That can include the ones that you've, what do they call it? Ripped, the ones you ripped. Okay?
Bill,
Yes,
if I've by mistake clicked offload unused apps and want to change it back, how can I change it back?
go to settings.
Wait, go to settings. Wait. Settings and what?
App Store.
Oh, App Store.
Mhm.
That one is strange.
Yes, App Store, okay.
At the bottom of the App Store, near the bottom, it says offload unused apps.
Yes.
Turn that off.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bill, back on an earlier question.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Go for it.
Actually, I have to, I can't find the answer, but it's interesting. I did find
And what
the
was the
exact
question?
question.
What was the question?
Question had, what was the Dropbox thing on the,
Oh, Dropbox. Yeah.
Dropbox on storage?
Yeah, Patricia's question.
And so what happened is somebody posted on a Dropbox forum asking that identical question of what was it? Everything else I found was trying to compare Dropbox and iCloud as storage things.
Yeah.
This identical question has 6 other people saying, I've got this question too, and some kind of moderator saying, I'm working on an answer. And none of that is satisfactory, but listening to the
That's
earlier
really good.
discussion, I have Dropbox on my iPad.
Yeah.
And if I go into my device things and look at how much storage I have on Dropbox, I have about 200 megabytes of data that is in Dropbox right now. I just have a little bit of data in my Dropbox because I don't back up. I mainly use it to pass data between devices.
Right.
And so I have a couple of 100 megabytes there. I went in to look at the Dropbox app itself, and that's got the same data size. So I think that's where it is. If you, each app, like we were just talking about, there's data sitting on whatever device you have. And if whatever the size of the Dropbox data that's on your device, that part is being backed up. And so it may be redundant and you could just shut it off because it's already known. But that's my personal opinion. That is not anything I found in Dropbox or iPhone.
Okay. I'm going to switch gears, everybody, because I want to just mention to you something called the Files application. Oh, I think iOS 11 came out with something called Files. And you'll see it on my iPad there. It's a blue envelope. And if you haven't removed it, or removed it, I don't know if you can. Can you? Yep, you can. If you have not removed it, and you click on it, what it does, and it's a pretty sophisticated program, and if you start using it, I think you'll like it. So I'm going to click on it and open it and just show you some basic things about it. Okay, I opened my Files application. What it has done is it gathers up what's the different sources of your files. I have an iCloud Drive. I have an iPad. My iPad, where are the files there? I have Google Drive on my device. In other words, I access Google Drive and I access Dropbox. This does not include your email or your photos and messages. The rest of the files that you may serve, and if you think about it as primarily documents, but it's not always. So if I click on where it says my iPad, these are the documents, and I see some pictures there that I have on my iPad only. If I click iCloud Drive, it shows me the things that I have in the iCloud world. If I click on Google Drive, it shows me the information I have on Google Drive.
I had that one.
Now I happen to have Dropbox application also on my device. This is the one where, for example, the folks who put in articles in the monitor, see where it says Stug there? If I click there, and there's the newsletter, and this is where we contribute our articles. So we're working on August, just came out, I think. And here's the completed document. Has anybody put in September yet? I don't think so. Nope. Nobody's put in September information yet. All right. So these, we talked about clouds, right?
Mhm.
And these are the various clouds that we can look at.
Hmm.
If you have a Dropbox account or a Google account or other cloud accounts, if you download their application, it will show up in this locations list.
Bill,
Yes.
can I ask a question? What actually is iCloud Drive?
Separated from what we talked about earlier. We're looking at the iCloud. It's a separate storage area that Apple has for you.
How do you actually get it in?
Get stuff in it.
Yeah, because I just noticed that on my thing, I have it turned on, my iCloud Drive in my iCloud, but I don't think it has anything in it, but what would you put in it and how do you put stuff in it and why?
If I'm using numbers, I can put a picture in it. What they're trying to do is provide you a way to put things in a cloud other than what's called, okay, I got to separate it out here. When we go, and I'm going to do it on my iPhone, when we go to settings, tap your name and you go to iCloud. iCloud is meant to synchronize everything that's on your device in a cloud somewhere. So if you get a new device, or you drop your old one, or you lose your old one and you get a new one, it will automatically have everything that you had on your old one transfer it to your new one. Okay, so iCloud is primarily a backup that keeps, I hate to use the word backup because it's a real-time backup. Everything you have on your device, almost everything you have on your device, gets backed up in the iCloud every night automatically for you, so that if you get a new device, you can have the old information on your iPhone or iPad automatically. iCloud Drive is similar to Dropbox, Google Drive, and it's a place where you can put things to be shared with other people or to access from other devices.
Okay, so it's sort of like a file, so like a file or a folder, so to speak.
Think of it as a big folder in the Google Cloud.
In the Google Cloud?
I'm sorry, iCloud, in the Apple Cloud.
Okay, so then how do you know how much capacity it has?
I think that
How much storage is there in that iCloud Drive?
Good question. I have no idea. I think it's included in the 5 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes that you have at Apple.
Oh, okay.
I think that includes the iCloud Drive.
Okay, so it doesn't matter how much storage you have on your iPhone. It depends on how much storage you have in the iCloud.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have
Okay.
a question. How did you get stuff in there? I've got stuff in mine and I never put it in that I know
Oh, I was afraid somebody's going to ask me
of.
that.
Like I've got how to make blueberry crumb
Yeah.
pie or whatever.
Who has comments on that? I find that when I go to save a file,
Oh,
you need to be very careful as to where you save it because there are multiple locations.
okay.
But
If I'm using the Numbers app, I was going to show an example. If I'm using the Numbers app, for example,
Which I never do.
and I got to wait a minute. Sharon, can you talk me through using an app to get something in there?
well, when I download something, like when I download the monitor
Okay.
every month on my iPad,
Yeah.
because I don't want to print it, but I put it on my iPad so I can keep it and look at it.
Yep.
I use the share button, and one of the options is file.
Gotcha.
So then I have to go in.
That was the biggie. That was a biggie you just said. When you're
Yes,
looking at a document, you tap the share box.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So
And
that's,
then one of the options is file.
and one of the
But
options
when
is,
you
Go
do
ahead.
that, you need to be careful as to what file you put it in the Dropbox or the iCloud. If you want it on your iPad or on a cloud, you can determine where you want it saved.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And one thing I've noticed, it's sort of like Dropbox that you can view things on all your devices from the cloud, but I have gone into my, and I don't understand this, I've gone into my file explorer on my computer and I have tons of recipes that I have saved from searching the internet. If I copy a recipe and go to cloud and paste it, I can't see it. If I open a recipe on my computer and I go to file save, I can then save it in the file on the cloud and I can see it. But if I copy and paste, it does not show up, which I don't understand and it's frustrating, but oh well.
Now, Sharon's probably the most experienced at using this program. So,
I think so. Thank you.
all right.
If you don't mind, can I just ask one other question regarding what Sharon says, because I'm sort of following it, but my question is, so if you download something and then you hit that share button,
Yes.
one of the options where you can put that in or share that to is iCloud Drive. Is that correct?
No, you have to go to files first.
You have to, yeah, you go to files first.
And then one of the options is iCloud Drive.
Okay.
Also on
Google
the,
Drive, our Dropbox.
Let me pick up one here. So there's a picture. I hit the share box and I'm looking for files.
down at the bottom of your list, it says share file in iCloud.
That's it. Well, that's in iCloud. What if I want to put it in Dropbox?
Okay.
Oh, Dropbox.
But if you want to put it in iDrive,
Oh, hold on. I got to go back there now. Okay, I hit the share box. Oh, they're saving Pinterest, import.
When I have a photo opened and I go to the share buttons, it's the second one, save to files.
The second one says files. That's because you've
And
used.
then it
Save the
opens
trip.
up and it
That's
wants to know where what file, what device I want it in.
Yes, I'm not in the right place. Well, let me do that with a photo. Let me go to the photos
Yeah, see what that is.
and I'll pick up a picture here. Oops. So I've got the picture. Hit the share box.
Where's that?
And I'm looking for file.
We can't see the share box.
Oh, you can't see it, right. But I'm not seeing file.
It's kind of tricky, yeah.
Okay.
It's the second one down when I did it, and I wanted to save it on OneDrive versus iCloud. And then that opens up files too.
Save to files. There it is. There's on my iPad, etc.
And we can't see anything you're doing now.
I know. Here.
We see a beautiful photo.
Isn't that a beautiful
Yeah.
photo? Okay. All
Did
right.
you take that?
Yeah, right. I don't remember. I may have taken that one. All right. Share box. I scrolled down here. I think it was save to files. See where that is? So it's a little different on mine, but that's it. Save to files. And then I have the different places I can save it.
I can. It just is randomly saved on.
All right.
Oh, yeah, man.
So I can go to the iCloud Drive. Well, I have it on the iCloud Drive. I'll go to Dropbox here. Oops. I'll go to Dropbox and I'll put it in my folder and I'll tap save. So now it's saved in the Dropbox cloud.
Well, I got this one.
And if I go
So I
back,
commented, you can save something like that, but you can't copy and paste something into that
got
file
it.
folder, which is frustrating.
I understand. So now I go to Dropbox. And where did I put it? My folder? Yeah, my folder. And it should be in here somewhere. There it is, right there. Okay.
Bill, can you go backwards and say, where did I save this file?
I don't think so. I think you have to remember where you put it. Now, once you save it,
Okay.
it's like a document on your computer. When you put it there, boy.
When you start using this program, this feature a lot, it pays to be very organized so that you will have it easier to remember, like setting up folders, photos and
No.
documents and recipes and things like that.
Sharon's question on the copy paste, I've run into that sometimes where I've tried to copy something and then I want to put it into a place as a file. And that just doesn't work because copy just holds it in a temporary place and you got to be then inside another app to be able to paste it. And in this case, we're trying to actually create a document. And so you can move the document, a copy of the document from one place to another using the share box. But the copy paste is just app to app because it's moves it to a temporary storage. I've tried to get around that because I've had some photos that I wanted to do something special with, and or I copied a segment out of one paper and then I wanted to create a whole new file with it. And the only way to do that is to create the new file first and then paste the info into it.
Okay, we've talked about cloud storage. We've talked about the iCloud. And now we've talked about files. Okay. And I like the lesson that Sharon just gave us, where if you're in a document or in a picture and you click the share box and you need to look for somewhere where it says file, and you'll get to the Files app and you can put it there. And if you tap the Files app, on the left-hand side, it shows you the places that you can currently put them to. And if I added the Microsoft Cloud, it would show up over here. If I added their app, it would show up over here. So this is Files is kind of a big folder. iCloud is a subfolder of it, if you think about it that way, as is my iPad, Google Drive, and Dropbox.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have the test for today.
Oh, wait, Bill,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
We got away with that. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay. Frequently, my photo stream stops working in the iCloud. It's supposed to stream the photos I take on the iPhone
Okay.
and puts it to its place on my computer. And it frequently stops, not frequently, but sometimes stops working. And I have to sign out of the iCloud and then sign back in to get it to work again. Do you know why it stops working sometimes?
Yeah,
Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, PhotoStream is their old technique. And so I'm not sure why it does that. Okay, Jim? It's
Okay.
something in the Apple world clicked and it doesn't work for a while. But yes, I understand what you're going through.
Okay.
Why are you still using PhotoStream?
Why not? When it works fine.
Well, versus all photos, versus recents. Okay.
Well, what is all photos and recents? What does that mean?
You're doing that so you have the pictures on multiple devices. Is that correct?
Yes.
And if you go to Photos, oh, I'm sorry. If you go to Settings, and then how do you get PhotoStream? You go to Settings, Photos?
No, I go to the iCloud app on my computer.
Okay.
And there I set it up where it's checked to do it and where it goes to on my computer.
But aren't the pictures also coming from recent pictures?
Yes.
I'm not sure of this. You might want to do some research on it, but I think it's redundant now. And so
Okay, I understand that, but I also, when I go on my computer and look at the photo stream, the caption on them, I like to be able to view my photos in time order, when it was taken. And that's not what it is. It's by name, and the names are just these odd numbers. So it's more frustrating to try to access a photo directly on your computer, directly from the photo stream. What I found is the easiest way is I find the photo on my phone and I email it to myself and open it on my computer and then do whatever.
Okay. But you guys are both talking about Macs, is that correct?
No, I'm Windows.
Hmm. Ah,
Oh, I'd like to make a comment. What that lady said last is incorrect, because in the photo stream that I have, it gives the time, gives all the data about the photo, when it was taken, the time, where it was, and so forth. It's all there. All the
When I
metadata.
look at an individual photo, but when I'm searching for a photo and I just taken one 10 minutes ago, it takes me a lot of time to find out exactly where it is. Whereas it's easier just to email it to myself when I want to use it.
I'm going to have to do some research on the photo stream because I
Okay.
don't use photo stream at all anymore.
What do you use instead?
I believe it or not, I also have Google Photos on my iPhone and iPad.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so when I want to get something on my computer, I go to Google Photos on my computer and there they are.
Okay.
But they don't always upload immediately.
Boy, I've had them run pretty quickly.
Well, that's been an issue with me that I
Okay.
didn't get them
If
quite
they
as
don't
quick.
upload that quickly, just open the Google Photos app on your device and it will upload it
That's
instantly.
what I do.
Okay?
Bill, I don't see files.
That's okay.
When you went back to that thing that said file,
Yeah.
I don't see that
Oh, you
on
don't
my
have,
phone,
you don't have Files app on your phone?
I don't know.
Okay. If you're not sure, and this is a little review for everybody, if you're not sure, go to the app library. And the way you get to the app library is you sweep left to right, and you keep going left and right until it comes up and says app library. And then you tap up there where it says app library, and you scroll down to see if Files is there. If it's not, you need to go to the App Store or Application Store and get it. There's E, there's F, and there's Files.
You can also use the Spotlight search to find out if you've got the app.
Good point, Bill. And so what Bill's suggesting is you put your finger, well, let me get it on my iPhone there. You put your finger here and pull down and type in file, F-I-L-E, and it should show up there.
Fortunately, it doesn't tell you where on your screen it is.
Which home screen it's
page,
on. I know.
Which page it's on.
I understand. Mine says it right here. It says it's in my storage folder.
Oh, I've never noticed.
Okay. So if I go back and I find my storage folder right here, there's the Files app. Okay. All right. The questions for the day are, why don't lobsters share? All right.
Shellfish.
Oh, they're shellfish. A barrel of water weighs 20 pounds. What must be added in order to make it weigh 12 pounds?
Oh,
Whoa, we got some smart guys here today. Whoa. He's married many women, but is never married. Who is he?
A preacher.
A priest, a priest. Okay. If you have it, you want to share it. If you share it, you won't have it. What is it?
Time?
If you have it, you want to share it. If you share it, you won't have it any longer. What is it?
Time.
It's a secret. Come on, come on. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
What comes up goes up and never comes down.
The cost of living. No.
Hot air.
Your age goes up and never comes down. What kind of coat can be put on only when wet?
Paint.
All right, boy.
Nail polish.
What question can you never answer yes to?
Are you
Oh,
asleep?
yep. Are you asleep? All right. Let's do this. Let's do this. A cowboy who just moved to Montana from Texas walks into a bar and orders 3 mugs of beer. He sits at the back room, drinking a sip out of each one. When he finishes them, he comes back to the bar and orders 3 more. The bartender approaches and tells the cowboy, you know, if you get 1 mug at a time, it'll still have a nice foam at the top. It will taste better, and it will taste better. The cowboy replies, well, you see, I have 2 brothers, one in Arizona and the other in Colorado. Right? When we left our home in Texas, we promised that we would drink this way to remember the days when we got drunk together. The bartender admitted that was a pretty nice custom and leaves it there. The cowboy becomes a regular at the bar and always drinks the same way. He orders 3 mugs of beer and drinks them. One day he comes in and only orders 2 mugs.
Uh-oh.
All the regulars notice and fall silent. The room is quiet. When he comes back to the bar and asks for a second round of 2 beers, the bartender says, I don't want to intrude on your grief, but I wanted to offer you my condolences for your loss.
I know whatever.
The cowboy looks puzzled for a moment, and then the light dawns on him, and his eyes light up and he laughs. Oh, no, everybody's just fine, he explained. It's just my wife and I joined the Baptist church, and I had to quit drinking. It hasn't affected my brothers at all.
That's cute.
Have a nice week, everybody. What do we got going for next week? Anybody know what we have going for next week there? Let me check. We're into August. Oh, a good app called Reminders. Great little app to do things. So Reminders is the discussion for next week. All right, everybody?
Beautiful photo in your background, Bill.
Like that one, huh?
Beautiful.
Thanks, Bill. We'll see you next week.
All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks for your help, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
And Sharon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bill.
you. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
I know.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.